Hello everyone and welcome back to the Good to Watch channel. My name is Moji and right now Bitcoin is rejecting from this important area of resistance once more. It is no longer showing the hidden bearish divergence on the daily time frame, but it is now showing the traditional bearish divergence on the smaller time frames, and the price of Bitcoin is still showing a lot of liquidity to the downside. In the short term, Ethereum is still showing this negative divergence. I'll talk more about all of that and other things in the video, so make sure you watch all the way to the end. First, let's look at the 4-day Bitcoin chart. The super trend is still in the red, which means that nothing has changed on this period. Now we're looking at the next 2 days, and the price of Bitcoin is right around its previous high point. This is where the price of Bitcoin is now around 64.5 thousand give or take, but it's still below this huge falling line of resistance that has been holding it down for about 6 months. That line of resistance is now at $1,000, so that's still the level we need to break above to become much more positive on the longer time frames. We expect a much bigger bullish trend only if we see a breakout above around $68,000. On the other hand, it's clear that there are many short-term bullish trends during this bigger bearish trend. The last couple of weeks have been full of those kinds of things. The daily Bitcoin chart shows that the DXY has been going down over the last couple of weeks. This is good for the price of Bitcoin because while it doesn't always happen, when the DXY is going down, it's usually very good for the price of Bitcoin, or at least somewhat neutral. We also saw a drop in the DXY over the last day, which is another sign that Bitcoin is going up. But since we saw that fall below this previous low in the DXY, we've seen another small bounce that has brought us back to where we were yesterday. Basically, things have been pretty stable over the last day, even though there was a small break to the downside. Again, right now we are about where we were yesterday with that little bounce back up. At this point, the short-term outlook for the DXY is mostly stable. However, the shorter-term trend for the DXY is more negative, which is why the shorter-term trend for Bitcoin's price has been more positive over the last couple of weeks. And if we look at this daily Bitcoin chart, we can see that this big area of resistance that I've been warning about since before we hit it, it has already been rejected many times in the last few days. That costs about 64,500 rupees, which is in the price band of 64,100 to 64,100 to 64,500 rupees. And that price range is giving us a lot of trouble so far. Remember that to confirm a breakout, we need to see at least a daily candle close well above 64,500. It would be even better if we could see some kind of retest to turn that area of resistance into new support. If we see a breakout and then basically confirm this area of resistance as new support by seeing a bounce like that, that would add more proof to the breakout. We don't have to see the retest, but it would be nice if we did. This is more proof, but we need to see at least a daily candle close above 64,500 to be sure of the breakout. A candle wick to the top is not enough. If there is a confirmed breakout above 64,500, the price could move up to this next area of resistance. This could happen pretty quickly after the first confirmation of a breakout above 64,500. This next area of resistance, in case you're new to the channel, is between 67,000 and 68,000 and 68,000 and is a huge obstacle on the price chart. That's an important place to keep an eye on because there has been strong resistance and support between 67,000 and 68,000 in the past. Also, that's a huge group of traded volume in the volume profile indicator, which is a big area of support. Also, this falling line of resistance comes into play between 67 and 68,000. There are a lot of different points on the price chart that point to 67,000 to 68,000 as an important area to keep an eye on. This means that if we can finally see a confirmed breakout, not just above 64,500 but also above 68,000, that would be a very bullish sign for both the short and long-term trends. Because the market is likely to stay bullish over the next few months if we break out above 68,000 with confirmation and stay above that level. Before we can buy, we need to see a break above 68,000, which hasn't happened yet. Now, even though the price of Bitcoin is still hitting this area of resistance around 64,500, we know for sure that the price of Bitcoin hit a slightly higher high because this is where the daily candle ends. That means there is no longer a hidden bearish divergence forming because, as I'll talk about, we've been seeing higher highs in the Bitcoin RSI on the daily time frame while the Bitcoin price has been sitting in lower highs as the daily candles have closed. So of course, a hidden bearish divergence exists if we see lower highs in the price of Bitcoin at the close of the daily candle, and higher highs in the Bitcoin RSI on the daily period. The price of Bitcoin on the daily time frame has now made a slightly higher high in the candle closes. This means that there is no longer any secret bearish divergence, at least on this time frame. It's clear that this is good news for people who are bullish on Bitcoin. Still, we need to confirm a break above 64,500 because this is still a big problem for the price of Bitcoin in the short run. For support, if we see another rejection here, we should be able to find good support near 63,000. Below 63,000, we have even more support just below 62,000. And this main area of support is anywhere from about 60.2k to 61.2k. Also, even though we're hitting support right now, the short-term trend still looks bullish. Because of course we can run into resistance on the way up like we did about a week or two ago. We did hit this spot, which was previously acting as resistance between 60 and 61,000. The price went down for a short time over the next few days, but later on it continued to rise. For now, the trend is still technically bullish because we haven't seen any signals that say this bullish trend is no longer true. Again though, if you're new to this, it's important to know the difference between the different time frames. When I talk about bullish trends on this daily period, I'm talking about shorter term trends. These short-term trends can last for about 2 weeks before they turn around. Bigger trends can last for weeks, months, or even years. So for the past 6 months or so, we've been in a larger bearish trend. However, this larger bearish trend can include several short-term positive trends as it goes down. That's exactly what we see now. That is a longer-term trend that is going down and a short-term trend that is going up. Another thing is that this short-term bullish trend will only become a bigger longer-term bullish trend if we see a rise above around 68,000, which hasn't happened yet. In the short term, if we look at the 6-hour time frame, we've recently confirmed a new traditional bearish divergence. This happened within the last day with a new higher high in the price of Bitcoin in the candle closers and a lower high confirmed in the 6-hour Bitcoin RSI. This means that we're losing some short-term bullish momentum. Since this is happening at the same time as this major area of resistance, I wouldn't be surprised if we keep struggling around this resistance for the next couple of days at least. This is how bearish divergence usually works. It shows up as either a slight pullback or just some choppy sideways price action to restart the RSI since we've temporarily lost some bullish momentum. A bearish divergence, on the other hand, doesn't always mean that the positive trend is over. To give you an idea, the bearish divergence might play out over the next few days in the short term while the daily time frame is going up. So that's how the price of Bitcoin stands right now. These are the trends I'm keeping an eye on across all times, the areas of support and resistance I'm keeping an eye on, and what I think will most likely happen over the next few days. This video shows how the price of Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency changes. If you want to trade these changes, I do most of my trading on Biobit, so I'll include a link to that site in the description and the saved comment below the video. You can get a $30,000 deposit bonus if you make a Biobit account through the link below this video and then make a deposit. But you have to use that link below this video.